Fast, excellent, affordable. Business grows with PVI.
Tonight from Washington, just a short time from now, all eyes on the president. Can he help bring a divided nation together? The State of the Union, at one point delayed because of the government shutdown, is now on for tonight. Will he signal compromise? Will he dig in for a fight? And what happens next in his demands for a border wall? What we've just learned about what he plans to say. Also, the other news this Tuesday night, the major development, new surveillance tonight showing the panic inside this mall. A police officer who shot a man mistaking him for the gunman. And tonight, the decision just in on that officer's fate. Dangerous winter storms tonight, several feet of snow in some places, avalanche warnings across several states as we come on the air. And the ice storm now moving east overnight. The horrific scene playing out in Paris, the massive apartment fire, people trapped inside, at least 10 killed. And tonight, was the fire started over an argument with a neighbor? The newest case, and it's alarming, apparent road rage in America, the school bus driver shot. Actor Liam Neeson tonight defending himself to our Robin Roberts after his confession about rage, revenge, and race when he said who he wanted to kill. Tonight, how he now explains himself. The breaking news in New York City at this hour, the carbon monoxide emergency. Authorities on the scene, several patients being treated. We'll take you there. And the American jogger attacked by a mountain lion. That runner fighting the lion off to survive, killing the lion with his bare hands.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from our nation's capital.
And good evening tonight from Washington. We have a lot of news to get to, and we begin right here at the Capitol, where a short time from now, the president will address Congress and the American people. The State of the Union address, put off on hold weeks ago because of the government shutdown, he will now come to the House chamber right here tonight. The White House revealing today the president's theme tonight will be unity. But for the first time in his presidency, he will be speaking to a divided Congress. Democrats taking back the House, and Speaker Nancy Pelosi will be seated right behind him. Will the president reach across the aisle, and what will he demand on the border wall? As another shutdown now looms, he has also threatened declaring an emergency to get the wall built. Tonight, what we've now learned about what he'll say. ABC Chief White House Correspondent Jonathan Karl.
On the heels of the longest government shutdown in history, the White House says President Trump will use his speech tonight to call for unity and bipartisanship.
Let's come together. Let's do what all of America wants from us. Let's do our jobs and let's solve real problems.
Despite the talk of unity, the president has been lashing out at Democrats, including the new Speaker of the House, who will be sitting right behind him tonight.
I think she is very bad for our country.
And Democratic leaders have been hitting back.
In the past, he's called for unity, and he's forgotten about it by the next morning.
In fact, the partisan divide is as deep as ever. Democrats vowing to defy the president on his border wall, the president threatening to defy Congress by invoking a national emergency, and another shutdown looming in just 10 days if they don't find some kind of agreement. In a sign the president will hit border security hard tonight, the guests in the First Lady's box include a family of an elderly couple murdered in their home last month by an undocumented immigrant.
Jesus! You, Jesus.
But the president also intends to tout his work with Democrats on issues like criminal justice reform. He's invited Alice Johnson, a grandmother he pardoned after she served 22 years for a first offense nonviolent drug conviction. The most unconventional guest tonight, 11-year-old Joshua Trump, a sixth grader from Delaware who is not related to the president, but says he has been bullied because of his last name.
The president and so many lawmakers on both sides will be bringing guests tonight to the State of the Union. John, of course, across town live at the White House tonight. And John, you know Speaker Pelosi up here at the Capitol a short time ago. She told us she is looking for places to compromise with the president. She mentioned infrastructure, lowering prescription drug prices. But John, all eyes are going to be on the president. And of course, Speaker Pelosi seated right behind him, and what he's going to say about his demands when it comes to the border wall.
And David, the big question is whether or not there's any room for compromise on that issue. It's hard to see, but there are some signs of some softening of the president's position on this. I am told that he will not use his speech tonight, or doesn't plan to use his speech tonight, to declare a national emergency and try to bypass Congress that way. I also do not expect him to threaten another shutdown. David?
All right, John, I'll be watching with you right here. We hope you'll stay with ABC News for the President's State of the Union tonight. And, of course, the Democratic response. I'll be here with George and the entire Powerhouse political team, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC. In the meantime, the other news this Tuesday night, we have new surveillance this evening of the panic that played out in an American mall when a police officer shoots and kills the wrong man, thinking he was the gunman. The victim, E.J. Bradford, had rushed toward the scene of the shooting, possibly to help, police then shooting him. Tonight, that new video and the decision today about that officer's fate. The family of the victim is now outraged. And here's ABC's Victor Oquendo.
They just seen that man gun and shot him.
Tonight, Alabama officials say the actions of the officer who fatally fired on the wrong man during the chaotic moments after a mall shooting were justified and not criminal.
You covered it up. We in Alabama. It's still cool to kill a black man.
In this newly released surveillance video, you can see people running for their lives as the shooting unfolded Thanksgiving night. According to a report by the Alabama Attorney General, 21-year-old Emantic E.J. Bradford was running toward the actual shooter and victim with a firearm visibly in his hand when he was shot.
They just killed that black boy for no reason.
Police first calling Bradford the suspect before retracting that statement. According to the report, the officer mistakenly believed that Bradford fired the initial shots. The alleged real gunman, seen here, escaping to a JCPenney, arrested 1 week later. Bradford's family outraged tonight.
If that was your child, would you consider this justice? You shoot my child 3 times, and y'all call that justice.
Bradford's family says he was legally licensed to carry a concealed firearm. They're demanding police release all video in this case. David?
Victor Oquendo tonight. Victor, thank you. We're going to turn now to an unfolding scene here in New York City, a carbon monoxide emergency. Several patients are being treated on the scene. Authorities say the carbon monoxide readings were 750 parts per million. 10 parts per million is considered dangerous. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, the New York City Fire Department rushing to a construction site, working frantically to rescue several workers after they became sick from carbon monoxide exposure.
Multiple victims in a confined space. We have multiple images.
First responders putting victims on stretchers using a crane to lift some of the injured to safety. From above, you can see the dangerous situation both the workers and firefighters faced. Firefighters using plywood to make a makeshift bridge over the open construction site and reach them. Officials say workers were using power tools off a generator with improper ventilation.
You're not supposed to be using gas-powered generators indoors, below grade. They're supposed to be outside in a well-ventilated area.
At least 9 were injured. And David, workers tested the nearby buildings and structures to see if any of that carbon monoxide has spread. Thankfully, they are not finding that odorless gas in any of those surrounding buildings. David?
Gio Benitez tonight. Gio, thank you. We're going to turn next to dangerous weather moving across the country tonight. 16 states are under winter weather alerts, from California all the way to New York. Up to 10 feet of snow and blizzard conditions at Mammoth Mountain, California. Melting ice in western New York causing flooding along the Buffalo Creek. And dangerous ice in Chicago right through the morning. So let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee. She's live along the GW Bridge, tracking it all for us tonight. Hey, Ginger.
David, when rain falls on a freezing or sub-freezing surface, it can freeze on contact. That would be called freezing rain. Ice accumulates, and that's what we're concerned about in eastern Iowa and Chicago tonight. That's going to move through. There's an ice storm warning. You can also see some hefty snow on the backside of both those systems, actually. 6 to 12 inches of snow possible from parts of Minnesota through Wisconsin, David.
All right, Ginger, thank you. There is intense new scrutiny tonight on President Trump's inauguration and the more than $100 million raised for it. Federal prosecutors in New York issuing a wide-ranging subpoena for documents and records on how the record amount of money was raised, where it came from, how it was spent. Investigators want to know who gave that money and what, if anything, was expected in return. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, tonight.
Tonight, federal prosecutors following the money, zeroing in on President Trump's inaugural committee, which raised a record-shattering $107 million.
These events are going on all over the city. We're having a lot of fun tonight.
In a sweeping subpoena first reported by ABC News, the U.S. Attorney for New York Southern District demanding documents related to everyone who donated to the committee and attended its events. Only one person is mentioned by name, Imad Zubiri, a California financier who has contributed to Republicans and Democrats. He gave the Trump inaugural committee $900,000. prosecutors also want to know how the committee spent all that money, requesting records with vendors and contractors. Documents obtained by ABC News show more than $1.5 million went to the Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C., $130,000 for customized seat cushions for 2 gala dinners, and $10,000 on makeup for servers. And prosecutors specifically seeking records of communication with an online payment processing company called Stripe. One of Stripe's investors, a firm run by Josh Kushner, brother of the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
This doesn't have anything to do with the White House.
But the subpoena makes clear investigators are exploring a host of potential crimes tied to Trump's inauguration, including money laundering, illegal contributions from foreign nationals, and conspiracy to defraud the United States.
And Pierre Thomas is live right here in Washington tonight. And Pierre, a spokesperson for the president's inaugural committee, says they intend to cooperate with this investigation.
That's right, David, and we should note nobody on the committee has been accused of any crime. But this subpoena just shows how deeply federal prosecutors in New York are digging into the president's world, from his campaign to his business to now his inauguration. David?
Pierre Thomas with us live tonight. Pierre, thank you. And there's also news tonight on the war in Afghanistan. 14,000 American troops still there. America's longest war. It was last night here. Our exclusive reporting from Kabul from our trip over the weekend. Our interview with the top U.S. commander, 4-star General Scott Miller. He told us about talks with the Taliban now underway, telling me any endgame will be political, not from the military. And tonight we've learned that members of the Taliban are now back at the negotiating table again, this time with prominent Afghan figures, including former Afghan President Hamid Karzai. Those talks in Moscow today. And those talks come after this. ABC News obtaining these images while we were in Kabul of an assault just weeks ago. Taliban members with their hands in the air. General Miller telling me they will keep up the pressure on the Taliban to keep the Taliban at the table. Also overseas tonight, a deadly fire in Paris, trapping people in an apartment building. Many did not get out. At least 10 people are dead tonight amid new questions. Was the fire started over an argument with a neighbor? Here's ABC's James Longman.
One of the deadliest fires Paris has seen in years. At least 10 confirmed dead and dozens injured in this 6-hour raging inferno. Look at the strength of the blaze. Orange and purple flames shooting out of windows. Access nearly impossible. Residents winched to safety, some rescued from the roof. People were screaming for their lives, says this witness. The flames were coming from everywhere. Over 200 firefighters on the scene, pushing through the smoke, risking their lives to save those trapped. And tonight, a 40-year-old woman is in custody for suspected arson. A resident of the building with psychiatric issues, it's reported she started the fire after an argument with a neighbor. Police stopped her as she tried to set light to a car outside the block.
The woman, who's thought to have had a number of run-ins with police, is now being held at a psychiatric unit where she's to undergo medical tests. David?
James Longman tonight. James, thank you. And back here at home now, and to actor Liam Neeson defending himself tonight to our Robin Roberts after what he said. The actor revealing a very personal experience of rage, revenge, and race after a friend had been brutally raped decades ago. Neeson saying who he had the urge to kill. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis tonight.
Just hours before hitting the red carpet for the premiere of his latest movie, Cold Pursuit, Liam Neeson speaking out for the first time since sparking backlash with this startling admission about an incident years ago when he learned that a friend had been raped. He says he became enraged when he learned the attacker was black.
There were some nights I went out deliberately into black areas in this city looking to be set upon so that I could unleash physical violence.
He initially shared the story during an interview about the film where he plays a man out for revenge.
I'm not racist.
Today on Good Morning America, he tried to explain.
If she'd have said an Irish or a Scot or a Brit or a Lithuanian, I know I would have had the same effect.
You've learned from that, but you have to also understand the pain of a black person hearing what you said.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And at the time, even though it was nearly 40 years ago, I didn't think about that.
His hope now is that this will encourage more frank conversation about race.
We all pretend we're all kind of, politically correct. I mean,